That's not
Yeah, I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Chain with the new bezel. All my niggas put it work. I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Chain with the new bezel. I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Chain with the new bezel. All my niggas put it work. I'm on a new level. 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 Brought me a new shovel. Put these niggas in the dirt. Chain with the new bezel. All right, what's up, guys? We are ready to go. Another Tuesday, another call. We've got 300 and something connected. All right, I'm gonna give it a minute. Let it get to like 400, and then we'll kick it off. I got a couple topics I want to talk to you guys about. And then maybe if there's a way at the end, we could figure out a way to do some kind of Q&A. I'll try to make the call short and sweet, and hopefully give you guys some value. So let's give it a couple more minutes and then we'll get started. Por cierto, para las personas de habla hispana, hay traducción, así que asegúrense de entrar. ¿Qué es lo que tienen que hacer? Asegúrense de entrar al canal donde hay traducción. Así que ya ustedes saben sobre eso. Okay. So let's talk business. Anyway, for those that don't know me, my name is Jorge de la Concepcion. Those of you that are brand new, I've been in the business for the last 12 years now, and it's changed my life. Before this, I was doing all kinds of different things. Always loved health and fitness, but never imagined that I could actually build a business from it and a career from it. I did all kinds of stuff before. By the time I was 23, I had like 18 different jobs already, doing different things. Always knew that I wanted big things in life and everything that life, all the amazing things that life has to offer, but had no idea on what I was going to do to achieve that or what vehicle I was going to utilize to get there. Never imagined that it would be this opportunity. Never imagined they would be doing something which I loved, which was health and fitness. But here we are, completely life-changing. Herbalife has been completely life-changing. And then obviously now we have this tool and this way of doing, bringing this to more people, which is We Do Transformations. And this has been a game changer also since we launched it almost 2 years ago. Well, like a year and a half. And so I'm going to be sharing a few things with you guys today. Listen, We Do Transformations has been a game changer in my business. It has allowed me to recruit people into my business that I had not recruited, that I was not recruiting before. It has made my business more attractive, and it's helped me in general. And I'm going to talk a little bit about recruiting on the call, but I also want to talk about, the actual ecosystem and everything that we have. And, a lot of you guys, or some of you, have asked, listen, what other features are coming out next? What else are we going to add to the app? What other things are we putting together? And keep in mind, this started with a Telegram channel for our customers, for our challengers, a year and a half ago. There was nothing. Eventually, we migrated to a website, which then eventually, earlier this year, we turned that into an application, and now we have the current, you know, app the way that it is and the latest version of the app. And I'll tell you right now, what we have, I never had it coming up in the business, and my wife and I have reached pretty high levels of success. And we never had something like this. We never had any of the tools. We never had any of these things that all of you guys now have access to with We Do Transformations. We never had, pre-recorded workouts. We never had basically meal plans that were done, meal guides, recipes, recipe videos. We never had these training calls, or somebody to guide us and show us how to utilize things. We never had all these different things, and you guys know all the things that are part of this. We never had any of these things, and we still managed to grow. So the point that I'm trying to make is, yes, we're always going to be working on improving things and on coming up with new features and new things. But listen, guys, if you have not been able to build business with the current features that we have, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. You're simply not putting in the work, because you have more than enough to build. Now, is there other things that we could add? Is there other ways in which we could build the model and make it even better? Absolutely. And we're always working on new things. But listen, it doesn't matter how many bells and whistles we add to this thing. If you don't put in the work, nothing happens. And so it all starts with the work, but sometimes we get too caught up with the details, and we think that, we need all these different things in order to be able to build a business. Listen, you have more than enough with what you have now currently in the app to build a business bigger than you could possibly imagine with what you currently have. Because what you have is something that, and if you talk to some of the president's teams, they will tell you, they probably never in their entire career have had something like this that they could offer to their customers. They put together a form of it, maybe, or maybe a more ghetto version of it, like I had in the past. The stuff that I would give out in the past was pretty ghetto. It was, I would send people just a note with the meal plan, or, it was not nice. Okay. And I built a massive business sending this not nice stuff. So imagine what you can build with the level of professionalism and the level of, legitness from all these tools and all these things that we have now. Imagine. But sometimes we take that for granted, and then we keep buying into this false narrative or false belief that we need more things in order to grow. You don't need more things in order to grow. You need, obviously, some things. You need some tools, you need some structure, but above all, what you need is hunger. What you need is the desire to figure things out, the desire to grow, the willingness to put in the work to figure the things out. That's what you need. You don't need more tools. You don't need more bells and whistles. Will they come? Absolutely. We're going to keep working on more stuff. We're always doing that. But what you need, thank you, yeah, so much credibility. What you need is the work. This tool gives you, more credibility. This tool gives you more value. You have more value now to give to your customers than you've probably ever had. And for those that are brand new, listen, you have so much to offer your customers. You have so much. They receive so much for so little. It's amazing the amount of value that we're able to give to our customers, and the amount of value that we've built and we've, created, and the amount of value that we go into the marketplace with. So your level of credibility through the roof, your level of professionalism through the roof. Now we need your level of work ethic, your level of commitment, your level of willingness to sacrifice, your level of willingness to go all in. And it doesn't matter if you're part-time or full-time. Maybe you're part-time, you only have an hour a day. Go all in that hour. Put in the work. Your level of commitment is what needs to increase, not the level of bells and whistles that we have in the app. Your level of work is what needs to increase. That's where it all starts, okay? Because you can't, you can't build anything without that. You know, and listen, if he told me what works best, you know, to more work ethic or more features and more things, more work ethic always beats more features. Everything I built with none of this, with zero professional kind of content stuff, marketing, zero. It was all work ethic. Now, when you mix the two, when you combine the two, when you have the features and the professionalism and the strategy and the whole thing, that everything that we do transformations gives you access to, and then the mentoring and the trainings and all of these different things, when you have that, and then you, on top of that, you add the work ethic, the commitment, then these two things come together, and this could be a recipe for success. But it's not, nothing happens without the work ethic. So that's topic number one. Topic number two, once you have the work ethic, listen, work ethic is not enough. Okay, work ethic is powerful. You know, consistency with your work ethic is powerful. All that's great, but you're going to need to learn some skills. You're going to need to acquire some skills, and these skills are acquired, you know, on these calls. And a lot of these skills, we don't, you know, these calls are simply not enough. So you're going to have to learn some things on your own. And we have, you know, if you wanted to learn about social media and different things with that, we have a whole training system that you can watch in the app. And there's going to be more kind of training to teach you different things. They're going to be coming along in the future. But you're going to have to learn some skills. Like in any other business, in any other endeavor, you're going to have to learn some skills. And you can't just depend on these calls. You're going to have to learn some things on your own time. You know, there's audiobooks that you can listen to. There's all kinds of stuff. And then once you learn the skills, then you got to take action with the skills that you learn. Because sometimes there's a gap. And I see too many people learning too many skills, listening to too many audiobooks, doing all these different things, and then they don't apply anything. They're experts at everything and have no results. They're experts at everything, but they're broke. They don't make any money. Why? Because they focus they swing the pendulum too far in the other direction. They go and they start spending too much time and energy into trying to learn every possible skill they can, and then they don't spend any time and energy into doing what actually, you know, generates a business, which is taking action. So you need a balance between the two. You need, and they, you know, we call it personal development, whatever it is. And personal development is a combination of different things. It's a combination of working on listening to things and working on things to work on your mindset. That's important. But personal development is also working on things that are going to sharpen your skills and that are going to make you a better distributor, a better coach in all aspects. But you can't go too far in any one of those. Like, you know, if you put in a bunch of work, but you have no skills, then you're going to burn yourself out because you're not going to get the result that you want. And you'll learn along the way, and that's great. But if you mix that with some skills that you're learning and some personal development, some things that you're working on, then that's the best combination. If you spend too much time and energy just listening to personal development and developing skills, but you don't apply those skills and actually practice and learn through the practice, applying those skills, then you never get anywhere either. So you need a balance of both. And that's one of the most amazing things about this business. It's a business where not only, yeah, you can make money, but besides that, you could become a completely different person along the way, because we incentivize, and you're incentivized to learn, to grow, to become, you know, a better person, to develop a better mindset, and to develop more skills. They're going to be lifelong skills that you can use in anything. So you're going to have to learn skills. And Learn skills for what? Well, learn skills to do the things that we do here. And what are the things that we do here? Well, we have to understand and learn how to get customers into our challenge. Okay, number one. Number two, we have to learn how to recruit and bring people into our team. Okay. And the third thing that we do is that we have to learn how to teach other people how to do the same thing, how to teach these people that we're bringing into the business to do the same thing. So we got to get customers or challengers, same thing. Number two, we got to get distributors or coaches, same thing. And number three, we have to learn how we can teach. We have to learn to teach these people how to go out there and do the same thing. So we prospect for customers, we prospect for distributors, and we teach these people how to do it all. Okay, these are the main three things that we do. And so all the skills that you're learning right now should revolve around these specific disciplines that we need to learn in these specific things. So the first one, most of you probably already have that one figured out. The second one, the recruiting part of it, is probably one that most of you are struggling with the most. So I want to talk a little bit about recruiting, because too many of you complicate it too much. And recruiting is actually quite simple, but there's a few things that need to take place. Let me repeat what I said at the beginning of the meeting real quick in Spanish, because there's a lot of people that have connected since. Para las personas que hablan en español, okay, hay un botón abajo para que se puedan conectar al canal donde hay traducción, pero sí hay traducción. Okay? Si entran a la llamada a tiempo, escuchen el mensaje a tiempo. Let's continue. So let's talk about recruiting. Too many of you complicate it too much. And I understand it for some of you, it might be a new thing, it might be, just something, it might be foreign to you and you don't understand, and that's okay. You're going to learn skills here in this business that are gonna, like I said, they're going to serve you for a lifetime. So different keys to recruiting. And also this doesn't, some of these things also apply for getting customers, but assuming that you already figured out how to get customers, and if you don't know how to get customers, that's not what this call is about. Okay. Maybe we could do a call at some point about getting customers, but your coach, whoever it is that brought you in, I'm sure could share with you the ways on how they get customers and you can learn. I want to talk to you about recruiting for a few minutes, because recruiting is a crucial part of this, and you don't have to wait to be in the business for a long time to start recruiting or any of that. Actually, it's best if you come into the business and immediately you recruit some people and you bring some people into the business with you. This is the best way to do it. You start with some friends, you start with some people, you recruit some people immediately so that you can start building a team right away. And so this is not something you have to wait for. You don't have to learn these skills, one day at a time. You could learn all these things at the same time and start implementing all these things at the same time. But recruiting is extremely important. And there was something else I wanted to share, but okay, let me not lose my thought process here. There's different sources to recruit from, but here's something that you have to understand. No matter how you're going to recruit or what you're using to recruit or what your strategy is, it all starts with your personal result. Okay. You have to build credibility yourself first before anybody else will be willing to follow you. Now, this doesn't mean that it has to take you 6 months. You could have a result quickly. Okay. And so the quicker that we can have, number one, obviously results on the products. Yes. Results physically. Yes. But also financial results. The quicker that you can develop a testimonial and the quicker that you can develop some financial results, the quicker you're going to be able to go out there and start recruiting people. because you need a compelling story. And if you're brand new and you don't have a compelling story yet, well, let's start working on it. Let's start working on a result with the business, okay? On a result, a money result. And that's not that difficult. You get a few people into the challenge, you make a couple $100. There you go. You have a testimonial right there that you can go out into the marketplace and you can talk to people utilizing that testimonial. Now, the more money that you make in the shortest amount of time, the quicker that you do it, the more attractive that testimonial will be when you try to recruit somebody. And so you want to set the goal now. If you're brand new, and I'm gonna talk to the brand new people here for a second. You're brand new, you don't know what to do. And by the way, for the people that have been around for longer, okay, this is something that you should be telling all your brand new distributors. Listen, our first goal is for you to put some money in your pocket and for you to put the most amount of money possible in your pocket in the shortest amount of time. Why? Because then we're going to use this testimonial and we're going to go sell it. We're going to sell this testimonial. Recruiting is nothing more than selling. When we're recruiting, we're selling the business opportunity. But you need something to sell. And the opportunity is great. The opportunity is unbelievable. But the opportunity without proof is not as good. So the opportunity with the testimonials to prove it, and there's no better testimonial than your own testimonial. And so if you have no testimonial, no problem. In the meantime, you can use your coach's testimonial. You can use other people's testimonial. You heard my story. I changed my life. I was bartending before. Now I live a life I didn't even imagine. Okay, my wife and I. Now it's not typical. It takes a lot of work, commitment, but you have many stories that you have access to of real people that are having real results with the business. You can use all of those testimonials, but at the end of the day, the most important testimonial will be your own. And so if you're brand new, or if you recruit somebody that's brand new, the goal is to make as much money as possible in the shortest amount of time possible, so that we can have a compelling story to go out into the world with and a story that we can sell. Okay? So that's important. That's where it starts. Then with anything, everything starts with a prospect. Okay, now you're gonna have prospects to join the challenge for the products or to join the challenge. Okay, and then you're gonna have to have prospects for the business opportunity. Okay, the problem is all of you guys want to recruit. There's nobody on here that's gonna say, no, I don't want to build a team, I don't want to recruit. Everybody wants to recruit. The problem is you guys don't create and you don't have a steady flow of prospects. Everything starts at the prospect. And so you have to develop ways of prospecting. Because if you don't have a way to prospect, you're not going to have anybody to present to. You're not going to have anybody to sell to. And so in order to be able to sell the business opportunity to somebody, you're going to need to have a stream of prospects. Now, what are some of these streams of prospects for recruiting? Let's talk about them. Usually, if you're brand new, your circle of influence is a good stream of prospects for the business. Okay. Your circle of influence also, understand this. Your circle of influence is ever evolving and is ever growing. Too many people think that circle of influence is just your friends, your family, your mailman, or whatever, and that's it. And then it ends there. That's it, done. No, you meet new people all the time, and you should purposely be looking to meet new people all the time. Okay? At the end of the day, everything that we do here is to build our network marketing business. No matter how we go into the market or how much we go into the market with We Do Transformations, We Do Transformations is a tool to help us build our network marketing business. And so the name says it all. Network marketing. We have to build networks of people. And so the way to have our circle of influence constantly growing and evolving is by putting ourselves purposely in situations where we're meeting and networking with new people. I'll give you one right now that probably most of you don't do, or most of you do. That's a way to not meet new people. Most of you probably work out with headphones on in the gym. Way to block yourself for beating somebody new. Okay. And I get it. You're working out, you want to be left alone or whatever. But nobody's going to approach you if you got headphones on. Nobody's going to say, can I work in with you or whatever? You know, you lose opportunities. And so this is just one example of many examples on how you can purposely put yourself out there in ways that allow you to expand your network, because this is network marketing. So you have to be conscious of that, and you have to be looking for opportunities at all times to expand and build your network of people. The gym is just one example. Okay. There's endless examples, but too many times we hold back and we don't go out of our way to try to meet new people. Well, listen, we're in the business of people. And so that's one fountain there that it's ever evolving, ever growing. Circle of influence is something that, if you understand how it works and you work it right, it should never dry up. Eric Worre, who's a legend in this industry, for those of you that don't know who he is, he has a book. I recommend it to all of you. I don't make any money from this book, by the way. I'm just saying, all of my guys that come in the business, I tell them to read it. It's called Go Pro. And he talks about this. He talks about how you can constantly continue to evolve your circle of influence. So don't think that that's something that once you ran out, you ran out. No, you should be building that circle of influence on a daily basis. So you should be looking to build that circle of influence on a daily basis. So that's one source. That's one place that you can recruit from. Okay. Where else? Well, you have another way of building a circle of influence, but virtually, which is called social media. And you could expand, you could develop a network, a social network, because of social media, a network of people that are somewhat part of, they're also a circle of influence, because you have influence over them if you meet them online. And if you start to develop relationships with people online, then this becomes like a secondary circle of influence. So I want you to look at your Facebook and at your Instagram page as, now you might have some people there who are in your actual circle of influence. It might be friends and family. But besides that, everybody else that's following you, if you engage and if you, purposely look and purposely put yourself in situations online also to interact with people, you can start to build a virtual or an online circle of influence through social media. And you can, meet a lot of people on there. You can find a lot of people on there who could be good at this business. And so that's another avenue. A lot of you have nutrition clubs. A nutrition club is another source, to bring in new people. And so really there's two ways of recruiting. Okay. Now you're like, wait, but you just explained like three. No, these are just sources. These are sources to recruit from. Okay. Not ways. These are sources to recruit from. These are funnels. These are whatever you want to call them. These are streams of prospects that you can create through these different ways. A stream of prospects could be from your in-person circle of influence. Another stream of prospects could be from your online circle of influence, which is your social media accounts. Another stream of prospects could come from your nutrition club if you have one. Another stream of prospects could come from, I don't know, whatever. These are streams of prospects. But really, there's two ways of recruiting. You recruit directly into the business from any of these sources of prospects, okay? Or you can recruit into the business from another source of prospecting, which is your customer base. So if you understand how to get customers, then what you should understand next is that some of your best distributors, some of your best coaches are going to be customers or people who started out as customers. And so your customer base is another prospecting funnel or prospecting avenue, or however you want to call it. And so we want to make sure that we're utilizing all of these different funnels, not just one of them, because here's what I usually notice. Most people only feel comfortable recruiting from their client base. That's the only place they feel comfortable recruiting from. And so they recruit from their client base, and that's great. We need as many of those as possible. But we also need to be out there talking to people who are looking for an opportunity and who we see that could be potential coaches. If you ask a lot of the old leaders, not old like they're old because they're old, but old because they've been in the company for a long time. And even me, I'm not new anymore. I've been in the business for 12 years. Listen, most of us came in for the business. Most of us came in for the business. Now, I love both of these sources. I love just getting people that want to make money straight into the business. And of course, we get them on the products and we do the whole thing. And I love that way. I love it. But I also love getting my customers to get a transformation, to feel amazing, to look amazing, to become passionate about this and then want to do this too. One without the other, is not good enough. You need to learn both of these sources and both of these methods, these prospecting funnels or whatever you want to call them, in order to be able to build a big business. Okay, you need to be able to recruit from anywhere, from your client base and from outside of your client base as well. So that's what I want to talk about. That's what I want to talk about as far as recruiting goes. We're 30 minutes into the call. I know that there's probably going to be like a Q&A. Probably a good idea if we start it now. We'll do like a 10-minute Q&A and we'll leave it at that, like a 45-minute call. Don't want to take too much time. I hope this is a simple concept to understand. Whatever questions you may have, we could open up a Q&A. Lauren, how do we do this? And we can answer some questions.
Yeah, we can do that. So anybody that has questions, go ahead and drop them into the Q&A section for me, please. And we'll give you all a minute to be able to do so. I have shared the name of the book that Jorge has already referenced. Author's Eric Worre, that's in there as well. Let's see here.
Lauren, how do you want to do? You want to read me the questions that you feel are relevant and then I answer them, or what's the best way?
Prospects from Instagram.
Oh, here we go.
That's what they'd like to know. It's in Spanish, but that's what it says.
Here we go. Sorry. See, you don't need to be that smart. I don't even know how to use a computer.
You got it? It's just the first one.
Okay, so the first person is asking about social media. They post, they share stuff, but nobody contacts them. Listen, social media it's a different monster now than it was. If you're sitting around just waiting for people to come to you, you're gonna be waiting for a long time. You gotta connect with people, you gotta interact with people, you gotta build relationships on social media, and then eventually those people come around. You can't just sit back and wait for people to contact you because you did a pretty post with the challenge flyer. That's not enough. You have to actually build relationships and connect with people on social media and engage with people on social media if you want them to actually do business with you. How is this different from the Telegram bot marathons? Does the app automatically generate? The app doesn't automatically generate anything. And I don't personally know the marathons myself. And so, if you're a part of this already, then you would understand how you would know how it works, and then you can kind of compare it to the marathons. But it's completely different than the actual marathons. I don't know much information about those. But we leave it up to the coaches to do the work of the following up or all that. We don't communicate with customers. That's up to each individual coach. There's nothing really automated in the app.
So one of the differences between the marathons and We Do Transformations is marathons are specific to one particular type of workout. It's just a marathon. We Do Transformations allows you the opportunity to be able to work out at whatever your level is from it as well.
No, marathons, and what they're asking here as far as marathons and this specific question is a tool that Herbalife has. Not similar to challenges, but it's an actual tool. It's called marathons. It's not a marathon. That's what I used to think. It's not an actual marathon, Lauren. It's like
okay.
It's a tool that just is what they call it. Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people in the UK do actual marathons, so I didn't know if they were
No, it's not like an actual marathon. Okay, as far as this is a very specific question about the events. Lauren, where did the events show? Are the events showing up now? Like the shape up showing up in the app?
So we have so far already confirmed for 3 different places, and we're receiving the information and the addresses and pictures and all that from those teams. So those cities will be posted here pretty soon. We've
Okay.
just done rounds of emails and people have just confirmed their info. So they'll start to see
Okay.
it.
So it'll start to show up, the information for the different shape ups will start to show up in the app soon.
Yep.
How many post stories do you recommend per day? And what? Did that just disappear? Oh, it just disappeared.
How many post stories do you recommend per day, and of any particular type of content?
Listen, guys, we have a whole training in the We Do Transformations app on social media and content, and we've done, Lauren, the trainings that we have from the previous events that we've done. Where are those recordings? Have we shared those recordings? Where are those recordings?
So the specific one for Brian Mark is in the
Yeah.
We Do app, the PDFs from it. And then others are on our YouTube channel, and I can drop the channel right now.
Okay, yeah, because we've done events where we've trained on social media, and all that, so you can get a lot more information on that. But listen, you should be posting at least once a day. Stories as many as you want. And content to build your credibility, content that's relevant to this. That's what I'll say. But watch the trainings and you'll get more info. What can you recommend to be consistent? Okay. The best way to be consistent is to have a target, something that you're shooting for, something that drives you and motivates you to actually want to get up and do the work every day. If you're not clear on where you're going, then you're not going to have the motivation and the consistency to work towards it. So you got to be clear on where you want to go. How do you recommend getting customers while still getting personal results? Good question. I would recommend, listen, if you're still getting results yourself, maybe you don't have the physique of a coach yet, doesn't matter. You can tell people, hey, listen, I'm doing this challenge, I'm doing this, join me, come along with me, let's do it together. So you could easily, it's like, let's do it together. I'm doing this. I've already lost 5 pounds or 10 pounds. Do the next one with me. Let's do it together. Let's motivate each other, keep each other accountable, whatever. And then you bring them on board. How to connect with people on social media. Listen the same way that you connect with people in person. Like that's not something I can teach you. The same way that you connect with people in person, just virtually. They follow you, thank them for following you. If they like your stuff, like their stuff back. If they comment, you comment on theirs, and eventually you start building rapport with the people. How do you turn your clients into coaches? Well, guys, we have a whole structure with We Do Transformations that we've taught like endless times, but I understand there's new people when We Do Transformations. After the 21 days are over, what I do is the people that get the best results, we offer them the opportunity to become coaches. And there's a video that you can send them, and there's all kinds of stuff. It's all built into the structure. But I usually like to focus on the ones that get results during the 21 days and who were able to stay consistent during the 21 days, because that shows me that they have at least some characteristics that could help them be successful in the business. And they could be a good coach if they apply some of those same disciplines to the business. So I want not the people who quit the challenge, but the people who actually went through it all the way. So you'll know who your superstar clients are. Those are the ones you want to make coaches. What's your conversation like during a prospecting with a trainer already promoting other products, but not being paid? Listen, this could be a topic for a whole nother training, but use your common sense. If they're promoting products and they're not being paid for it, then they're dumb. They're leaving money on the table. And so just like that, listen, you're leaving money on the table. oh, what do you, this is what if I'm meeting with a trainer, this is the first thing I ask. I'm like, okay, so you give your clients meal plans? Yeah, I give them a meal plan. Okay, do you give your clients, do you like a supplement? Almost all of them do this. Do you give your clients like a supplement list, or do you recommend some supplements to your clients? Yeah, I do. Okay, great, awesome. Where do you send them? Oh, Amazon, GNC, here, there, whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And how much do you get paid for that? Oh, no, I don't make any money from that. Okay, you're leaving money on the table. Let me give you a better alternative. Let me show you how this is better and how you could actually be benefiting from that. And let me show you how you can build a whole business around that. And then you go into explaining the whole thing, but you disarm them. I used to do the same thing. All my friends would ask me, hey, what protein do you take? I was sending GNC or whatever. I was not making a penny. Okay. So instead, I was like, wait a minute, if I just recommend this, if I take this and I recommend this, I can start making money from what I've not made a penny from all these years. Yeah, okay, it's a no-brainer, you know? And by the way, some trainers are dumb and they just won't get it. And no matter how much you try to explain it, their egos get in the way and they don't get it. And you're gonna be frustrated because you're like, how does he not get it? Well, they're dumb. Some just don't get it. It's okay. Some will get it because they're sharp and they're like, okay, I want to do this. Some will get it. Don't get frustrated if they don't get it. You know, it's not your problem, it's their problem. They're the ones missing out. That's kind of a good idea. Somebody suggested, is it possible to create a channel for business testimonials similar to the one that we have about results or something like that? I don't know if we have a channel or whatever, but
Yeah,
we
we have
could,
a channel for testimonies.
but business ones could be good. Yeah.
Oh, like from a coach's perspective.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's actually something, yes, we just discussed it today. So it will be in your future. And we will be reaching out to coaches. We will start reaching out when we have our winners for every challenge, not just for the coach to be able to take care of the challenger, for them to be able to make sure that they receive their winnings, but also to receive a testimony from the coach and their experience with their challenger.
Oh, that's cool. So anyway, thank you for, gracias por la idea, persona anónima, quien sea, muy buena idea, gracias. I don't understand that question. Yeah, I love when I meet somebody, I don't even ask people for the phone number anymore. I just say, hey, you got, you know, what's your Instagram? And I get people's Instagram and I get them to start following me so they see what I do because it automatically generates curiosity. What are the most common mistakes to avoid when trying to attract new clients? Just don't be desperate. Sometimes people get too desperate. Coaches get too desperate. Listen, you have something that they need. You have a solution for their problems. You know, they're blessed to be able to work with you. That's should be your approach. Are shake parties still a thing? Did it work in my opinion? I've never done a shake party in my life, guys. So I don't know. They were a thing at some point and they worked, but I've never done them. I think people still do it. It probably still works. Listen, anything that you can do to get in front of prospects, whether it's for customers or distributors, doesn't matter what it is, could still work. You just got to get in front of people. The problem is most of you are probably not getting in front of enough people. That's all that it is. But if you want to do a shake party, by all means, do it. I don't know how it works because I never did one, but I'm sure they work still. Everything still works. Everything still works. There's nothing that doesn't work anymore. The only thing that doesn't work anymore is a lot of people. And that's the only thing that doesn't work anymore. But everything else works. Let's see. These questions are great. Thank you. This is fun. listen, there's no keywords. The question is, what keywords can you use when you're trying to enroll a new prospect or a new trainer as a prospect or whatever? I don't, something like that. There's the magic is not, you want to know the magic? You guys want to know like the secret? Here's the secrets to getting most of your prospects for customers to say yes. The secret to getting most of your distributor prospects to say yes, your coaches to say yes. Okay, here's the secret. Okay, the secret is conviction. You have to be completely convinced, okay, completely convinced that this works, completely convinced that this is the way forward, whether it's for the products or the challenge or it's for the business. Whoever believes more wins. If you believe more that this could work for your customer than they believe that it can't, you're going to win. Whoever has the most conviction wins. Mark Hughes would say, Mark Hughes was the founder of Herbalife, your excitement will determine your success. Similar to that. Your attitude and your excitement about the products, about the opportunity will determine your success. The same thing that I'm saying now, I'm just saying it differently. Conviction wins. And whoever believes the most is going to win. If your client believes more, or your prospect about the business believes more that it's not for them than you believe, then it does work and it is for them, they're going to win. Whoever has the most conviction is going to win. So that's really the secret. There's no secret words, secret things. Like you get too caught up with that, just get more results yourself and you're going to see how everything starts to happen without having to use, so many gimmicks. How did you keep track of your prospects before We Do Transformations? Was it your Excel or paper? It was a disaster before We Do Transformations. I mean, we kind of kept it on paper, but We Do Transformations has made our life so much easier because all of our prospects start on one day and they end one day and the follow-up is the same. And it makes our whole process of following up so much easier. Before it was just all over the place. You got people starting all over the place, ending all over the place. It was so much more complicated. Listen, if your clients don't want to participate in the Telegram channel because they're overwhelmed, no problem. Work with them one-on-one. Like I'd be one of those clients that would be annoyed with a group chat, and I probably wouldn't even connect, but you still want to help me. So it is what it is, Some will love it, some won't. It's okay. Is Instagram better to build your clientele than Facebook? Instagram works, Facebook works. Anything where you put work into works. Facebook is great. It's a different demographic, but Facebook is great. Instagram is great. TikTok is great. Anything is great. Somebody's asking about retreats. We just recently did a retreat for We Do Transformations this year. Are they going to continue to happen in the future? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. If it makes sense, we will. If it doesn't, we won't. But guys, that's not, like if you're gonna take the time to ask a question, really ask questions that could help your business. It's just not like a relevant question. How many social media platforms do you recommend to work with? Listen, whatever you want, whatever you're comfortable with. It all works, So this is a good question. I kind of like this question. If you are on a networking event, when someone asks you what you do, how do you answer to lead conversations into business, recruiting, into We Do Transformations? So there's a guy I follow on Instagram who's like a kind of like a selling expert. And he has a pretty unique and interesting way of doing this, and I actually kind of like it. I'll share it with you. I forget his name. I think it's Jeremy Miller or something, or Jerry Lee Minor. I can't remember his name. Whatever. The point is, he says most people, they waste introductions. Or they waste opportunities like this. When somebody asks you what you do, you just say, "Oh, I do this," and then that's it. But it's not something that generates a question. So what he says is like, you have to kind of explain your product in your actual response. And so in a case like this, and don't take me word for word because I'm just gonna make stuff up here, okay? But in a case like this, what he says is, how would I word it for this? Okay, so they ask you, what do you do for a living? And then you could answer something like, oh, you know, when people like, you know, are overweight and, you know, they go to the gym, but they just can't figure it out and they can't figure out how to get kind of get shape. Well, you know, what I do is I help people like that don't have the motivation and that don't have, you know, the discipline and that maybe don't know how to eat right. You know, I help them with all of their nutrition, with this, with that, and then I help them get results in 21 days. That's what I do for a living. Oh, okay. See, now you just pitched them basically. You pitched them what you do. If you just told them, "Oh, I'm a transformation coach," okay, good for you. Or I'm an Herbalife distributor, good for you. Or yeah, I'm a coach, or I'm a weight loss coach. Okay, cool. But he says, like, do you know when like people, they go to the gym but they don't get results, you know, and they struggle because they don't have the motivation? Well, I run these challenges where I teach people how to do this, this, and this, and this to help them overcome those things and help them get a transformation in 21 days. That's what I do for a living. So that you kind of like did a presentation with your answer. So you don't waste that answer. I hope that makes sense, guys. I'm just, by the way, I'm just, that's not a script that I use. That's not a script. I'm just saying that's more or less what he explains. So it's, you know, it might be, try it out and see how it works for you, but it's pretty brilliant. How much time do you invest in developing a new coach? Listen, as much as it's necessary. Some people are a faster learner than others. Some people are going to get it right away. Some people won't. You know, you have to do your best. You know, if they're just not, if you're teaching them, but they're not doing anything or taking the actions, then of course you back off. But if they're trying and they're just slow learners, you know, you give them time. No, I don't think we would ever do a 90-day challenge just because it's too long, guys. We need people ordering every month. We need to keep this machine working 90 days. It's just, it gets boring for people. You know, it's not, it's not the best solution for our kind of business. I'm gonna do that and I work around a busy schedule. What do you recommend to network as a busy parent? Great question, Jose. Listen, bro, use social media. You know, meet people on social media. Use your spare time to purposely go on social media and meet new people on social media and interact with new people on social media. You could do this around your kid. You could do this around your job. You could do this around anything. Powerful. Great question. Some coaches are doing personalized meal plans. Could they share on a call how we could implement that? Listen, this is probably one of the biggest mistakes that you'll ever make in this business, is getting too detailed with your meal plans, getting too complicated with your meal plans, and getting too personalized with your meal plans, because it's simply not duplicatable. It takes too much time and it's absolutely not necessary. I've never had, in my 12 years of business and building the kind of business that I've built with thousands and thousands and thousands of customers and, you know, total hundreds of thousands of people in my organization, I've never used personally any kind of personalized meal plans. It's always been something that's somewhat cookie cutter, somewhat customizable, but something that can be easily duplicatable, and something that my clients, which are everyday people, okay, something that my clients can easily follow. This is the key. So if you want to duplicate, you need simple meal plans that all of your people in your team can use without having to create new meal plans for every single person. This will drive you nuts. You're going to end up spending too much time, wasting too much time on something that doesn't really matter that much. Because if people just, they cut their calories a little bit, they change their lifestyle, they add a couple shakes, a couple teas, and you give them a basic plan to follow with some healthy meals. Listen, it's very simple. You don't have to complicate your life. And if you're trying to create meal plans for every single person, you're crazy. It's just going to complicate your life too much, and you're going to be putting too much time into something that doesn't really matter as much as prospecting and the things that actually build the business. I would try to get all prospects that you get from social media, whatever. I would try to get them face to face, whether it's in person or on a video call. Face to face is always better to close them. HOM for we do like a slideshow or something. Have we done something like this, Lauren? Well, we have the video. That's kind of like an HOM for we do. So you do have something like that.
WDT Connect.
Yep. It's in WDT Connect. Yeah, exactly.
I'll type the answer to that.
How do you convert a client to become a preferred customer when they buy a lot of T-Kits? Listen, I don't know. I don't work with T-Kits. So I can't answer that, but obviously, listen, there's benefits of becoming a preferred member, which is you get 25% off on your products. And so, you've got to figure out a way to do it, a way to pitch them. I don't know. I don't sell T-Kits, but it shouldn't be that difficult. There's benefits to becoming a preferred member that they don't have. Yes, you can charge more than retail price for packages, and we do, because there's added value. How can I help my team grow? John Silva, bro, connect your team to the calls, work with your team, train your teams. That's how you help your team grow. And the most important way and the best way to help your team grow is you grow yourself and you lead them by example. Anonymous attendee, I'd like to know how quickly you express to potential clients the products are Herbalife. Guys, I've done this pitch multiple times for you on these things. There's a whole pitch. We have a video also that explains it, but basically I explain we do transformations, what it is, all this, and then I talk about the products that we use and why we decided to use Herbalife, and then I move on. I don't spend too much time talking about Herbalife. I just mentioned that Herbalife is a product that we use for the reasons that we use it. And some of those reasons is because it's in 95 countries. So we can work with people in any one of these countries. It's a company that's backed by science. It's been around for a long time. So I can trust the quality of the products. And they have a compensation plan that's actually very profitable and very interesting. And that's what I leave it as that. Lauren, can you answer Betty Lopez's question?
Sure. Okay, so
Oh, never mind.
Betty,
She just said, never mind, just saw the app. You're amazing. Cool, Betty, you got it.
Okay.
And then the next one is there a written flow from prospect to new HMP, which is new distributor? Nothing, the tools, and yeah, there is a written flow. That's that presentation that we have, which we shared. I don't know where it is, Lauren, but you could. Where's the presentation?
The written flow from prospect to new HMP. Yeah, okay. Yes, so I'm going to give benefit of the doubt that this is a new coach.
Yeah, sure it is.
Please go into the coaches chat and take a scroll through all of the previously shared material. And I can make sure that I drop things like that. So what you're referencing is called the flow chart, and that's what Jorge has done multiple calls on previously. So I'd also recommend that you go back and review one of the call recordings where Jorge gave great detail and description for the flow chart.
You guys gonna be on these calls, man. You guys gonna be on these calls. You know, we don't do them for no reason. There's a reason we do these calls. We got 623 people connected. We should have had a couple thousand, honestly. You got to be on these calls, and you got to get your teams on these calls. And you got to get on these calls on time, because you might miss something that might make all the difference in your business. You might miss a key point. And are we going to share these calls? Are we going to share this recording?
Mhm.
Are we going to share this?
So do we need it?
This is on YouTube? No, we should.
No. I mean, we say we don't share. It's locked. We keep everything you do, but it's not.
No. What I'm saying is, are we sharing the recordings for this call? For these calls? Okay, we shouldn't, because they need to connect. They need to be on here. If they want to learn, they got to be on here. Because just as I take the time to do the call, everybody who wants to learn should take the time. And I say me, but it's me or any other president team that does a call. Just as we take the time to do the call, you know, anybody who wants to learn should take the time to connect to the call at the time that the call is done. So we're not going to be sharing recordings with nobody. You want to get the information, connect to the call. Because if not, too many people get spoiled. And listen, you got to take responsibility for your business. You want to build a big business, you got to take the right actions. And one of the actions is you got to connect to the things that are going to allow you to grow. For all the leaders out there that have calls the same night at the same time that we have these calls, listen, it's not the right thing. It's not the right time to have the call. Or if you're a TAP team and you have your TAP team call at this time, I would suggest that you work around this, because we're going to be sharing a lot of things here. They're going to be very valuable, and you never know what piece of information could change your business. And so I would say, listen, try to work around the call schedules that we have where we do transformations, because this is kind of like the umbrella, you know what I mean? And then any other team calls, do them by all means. Do them an hour before, an hour after, whatever. But try to be on these calls. These calls are important. What else there was something else. I wanted to share something else before I disconnected. Oh, well, I forgot. Whatever. Anyway, like I said, I'm going to be doing a lot of these calls, because I mean, I enjoy doing them. And, but it's also nice to see people engaged and to see a large number of attendees connected, and to see that you guys are not taking it for granted. You know what I mean? So cool. Well, I'm excited.
Good questions tonight too.
Yeah, great questions. It was actually really fun.
Mhm.
I love getting good questions like that. So thank you guys for the questions. Really appreciate it, because it keeps this interesting. It keeps it engaging. It keeps it fun. And it keeps me on my toes. I love answering questions live. It's fun. ¿Puedes hacer una formación para el Grupo Latam? Listen, guys, this is translated to everybody. I only have so many hours in a day and so many calls that I can do. I'm doing all of these. You guys can connect with translation. You're getting the same information. So
Yeah, and every challenge does their own calls. This is a US based time zone call.
right. Yep. There's
Africa, India, Latam, they all do their own calls.
they all do calls. Yeah, they all do additional calls. Okay.
Mhm.
So this call is for anybody that wants to connect. It's obviously in English, but it's translated, so anybody can be a part of it and can listen and can learn. And you know, like you saw, I answered even all the questions, not just the English questions, the Spanish questions also. That's, you know, I can do that because I speak both languages. So at least with me or Octavio or anybody else who speaks both languages, you're gonna get that. You may not get it with everybody, but you know, we got to get Lauren to learn some Spanish also. And
I always have my translator tool up. I answer the questions in Spanish, but I knew I had you tonight, so I didn't have to.
yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. This was fun tonight. Listen. Okay, I'll tell you what. So what I did for this call is that I asked the president's teams what topics they would like for me to talk about. Now, there was a list of topics, and I kind of picked some of the best ones that I really liked. So if you're not a president's team and there's topics that you really want to learn about, communicate with your upline, tell them, I want to hear about these topics. And then they can voice it. And then we can make sure that we cover all these topics that you guys are needing covered on these calls. Okay, that's probably a good way to move forward and to come up with different topics for calls, to hear from you guys exactly what kind of topics you would like to be talked about. So anyway, communicate it so that we can talk about it on these calls.
I can drop a chat into the coaches chat so that they can go ahead and put it in there.
Whatever, however it is, you guys, I don't know the technology stuff behind it, how to make
I
it
got
work.
it.
You guys will figure it out. Anyway,
Yep.
really enjoyed this, guys. Have an amazing night. Let's crush it. Let's get to work. We're what, halfway through the month? You got whatever, 13 days, 14 days to finish the month strong, crush it, and strive to get to the next level, whatever that next level is. If you're, you know, if you're a 35%er, strive to get to 42. If you're a 42, strive to get to 50. You know, everybody should be striving to get to 50%. Supervisor. That's the place to be. And if you're a supervisor, listen, you should be making cuts to world team your first month as supervisor. You got the skills already. So let's go build a team, get some customers, and those 2,500 are easier than you know. If you're already doing 2,500, 5,000, if you're doing 5,000, 10,000. I want to see who's going to go to the 10,000 Volume Point Club. Okay. The 10,000 Volume Point Club. Maybe we should create something around, that. 10,000 Volume Point Club, like heavy hitters, bring that back.
We can have a call just for 10,000 volume.
We can have a call just for 10,000 Volume Point people, or something. Let's create something around that. I want to see some freaking killers out here crushing it and doing massive volume and like hitting heavy, like heavy hitters. Who's going to join that club? It's doable. It happens through accumulation month after month. It happens through consistent work bringing customers in, consistent work bringing distributors in, and consistent work retaining and teaching those distributors and retaining those customers. Who's going to go to 10,000? You know, who's at 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 that wants to strive and say, you know what, I'm going to go for 10,000 because why not me? I can do it. Who's going?
And that code would be a woman. It could be an actual code.
I don't know. You know, who's going to go to 20? That's big leagues. Listen, that's big leagues. But you guys, most of you are playing small. Most of you are playing minor leagues. You're doing your little 2,000, little 1,000 volume points. You know, who's going to go to major leagues? Who's going to be part of the starting five or the starting whatever? Who's going to be one of the big dogs that's going to be sharing how they did 10,000, 20,000 volume points? Who's going to set the example? Who's going to set the tone? I don't know, but we'll see.
I mean, we got a couple raised hands in the chat. They're putting it in there. So let's see if they're there.
Let's go. Have a good night, guys. See you next time. Peace.
Thank you. Thanks, Carlos.
Flexible.
Bye bye. You.